Today's topic is kind of a fun one, a little bit of a sad one. If you're ever got caught up in one of these coaching deals, coaching mentoring deals. So let me tell you the story behind this. And this first reared its ugly head back when I was first getting started coaching in this business, probably around 2010. And this one student was looking to sign up to my program. I don't even know what my program was back then. It's changed many times. It's evolved. And he said, I'd like to sign up with you, but I'm already a member of this other group. And I said, oh, tell me about it. So he starts telling, he says that, yeah, I signed up as $10,000 and I pay 50% of the profits that I make from doing a deal. I give to them until we've made $500,000 in profits. Okay. Well, I could have spent 20,000 and then it was only 25% profit split. I'm like, really? Hey, could you send me over that contract so I can take a look at it? So I read it and I am shocked, absolutely shocked at what I read. And I said, hey, I just want to tell you that you will never own multifamily property. What are you talking about? I went through the whole weekend boot camp. They showed us how they're going to do it. I said, I'm telling you right now that if you ever showed a bank this contract when you were trying to get a loan from them for a multifamily property, they would never give you a loan. He goes, what are you talking about? What do you mean? And I laid it out for him. And he goes, Charlie, can you get me out of this contract? I said, well, let me see what I can do. So I said, all right, I will. And at the time I was still practicing law. So I represented him as his attorney. I don't do that anymore. I still am an attorney. I'm licensed and I could walk into a courtroom and start practicing, but I have too much fun doing what I'm doing and not having to worry about what the court systems are telling me what rules and laws I have to comply with. I have to deal with that. Now I just coach and mentor. And so I got him out of it. He purchased his deal through another guru. So I knew behind the scenes there was an affiliate split between them. And one guru said, I'm not giving him his money back. I'll let him out of the contract, but I'm not giving him his money back. And my client said, that's fine. I just want out of that contract. I said, cool. So what I did was, 10 years, 12 years go by and somebody calls and tells me pretty much the same thing. I want to sign up for your program, but I just spent $10,000 on some other guy's program. And I go like, what's the guy's name? And he said this. I said, oh man. Oh geez. Send me over the contract and let me take a look. Folks, same exact contract. Same exact contract as what there was back 13 years before. And I said, let me explain to you the situation with this. And actually, it was this guy's attorney who was contacting me. And so he sent me over the contract. The attorney sent me over the contract. And I looked at it, same exact wording. And I'm going to share the wording with you now so you can understand what the issue is. And it's very cleverly drafted, but you better read each word so you can totally get it. It is a 7-page document that I'm holding right now in my never nicotine stained fingers. So this will give you an idea of what you can expect. Take a look at this first provision. It says deal profit share, because that's actually the name of the paragraph, deal profit share. I used translation information here. Consultant has accumulated over the years substantial know-how, proprietary information, relationships, and practices related to real estate education and investing. Client is requesting consultant's assistance with the real estate transactions. As such, client agrees the consultant will receive for such assistance a consulting fee equal to 50% of the net profits on the client's real estate deals. Consultant's fee, 50% of the net profits, until a total of $500,000 in net profits is realized and a total of $250,000 is paid to consultant. Any issue there? Any questions? No. The client understood this and he knew what he was buying when he signed up for this. So the way it worked is the student could pay $10,000 and make it a 50-50 deal, or he could pay $20,000 and make it a 25% deal to the consultant. But he understood all of that and he knew what he was signing up for as it relates to this paragraph. But there's wording in this paragraph that will kill any deal that he decides to do. There's wording in here that if any lender knew that this was there, they would never lend to him. I really want you to see those two words that make this contract impossible. That's it. Net profits. Net profits. What do net profits mean? Well, you don't have anything to worry about because the contract in the next paragraph defines net profits. But I want to talk about this one for a second. I want to talk about no NDA, non-disclosure agreement, so consultant can take over. Okay, the issue wasn't the NDA, but the reason why the person who was calling me had engaged an attorney and the attorney was calling me was because the consultant stepped in and took over the deal and cut the student out. And that's where the problem lay. That's how this whole thing became a court matter. All right. So there is another part of this agreement where the consultant can do that. And that's what caused the big problem. That was not the answer I was looking for. That wasn't the case 13 years ago because it never even got to that point. But that actually was the problem, the breach, or when the guy found out that the consultant could cut him out of a deal, and he did for about $60,000. Then that was true. Proprietary information is no, that wasn't it. If he was going to take him to court and claim use of the proprietary information, he'd have to describe what the proprietary information is and why it's unique to this consultant and why the client would not be able to find that information anywhere else in the stratosphere. Believe me, folks, in this business, there's very little proprietary information. Everything is public knowledge. It's been out there. We've been doing this since the birth of Jesus, right? Because what was Jesus before he was the Savior? What was Jesus before he was a Savior? He was not a carpenter. He was a tenant in the manger back in the stable. They had no room at the inn. They were 110% occupied. We've had multifamily properties since the birth of Jesus, even before he was a carpenter. All right, so read this. Net profits shall be defined as all income minus the consultant approved directly related transactional expenses, whatever that means, earned on any real estate transaction, including but not limited to the sale or assignment of real property, the sale of an interest in real property, rental income, fees earned from services related to real property, or any other such legal income generating actions involving real property. All expenses must be documented with the receipts and uploaded into consultant approved software before consultant will review for approval. Well, how many people would ever consider rental income as profit? Rental income. The contract claims that net profits is rental income. Rental income is the gross income, less expenses, less debt coverage, less everything. The profits are at the bottom. Rental income is at the top. So in other words, by this contract, every dollar that you collect from your tenants must be paid to this guy in the form of net income, net profits. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Everyone knows that's impossible, but this is how he had worded it. And then he also went on to say, and I'm not going, and he also went on to say that contract, when you entered into that contract was on any real estate transaction that you put into their system. And I actually think there was actually a little vague, like any real estate transaction that you deal with while you're under this contract. So if you inherited your grandmother's house, that your grandfather built with his own hands 50 years ago, that guy gets 50% of the sale of that property. It was the most ridiculous contract I've ever heard. And to see that this guy is still out there selling his wares using this contract it's ridiculous. I talked to the guy, I said, you want to put together a group action, a class action, and see what we can do about this? Because he's doing this to everybody. Everybody has to deal with this contract. He says, nah, I just want out. I don't want to have to deal with this contract anymore. I said, yeah, I understand. I totally get it, but I wish we could go after this guy, because it's no help whatsoever. So I wake up and I turn on my TikTok and I see so many of these gurus out there, new guys. I mean, these guys didn't have their first auto loan before I had already lost my first apartment complex. That's how young these guys are. I can't believe how old I am. But there are so many people out there teaching this business that have never experienced half of what I've experienced in this business. And they're out there acting as experts. One guy touts himself as he owns 455 units. I said, my first 455 units, I was not thinking about becoming a coach or a mentor. There was still a lot more that I needed to do. But this is what happens when the market starts to turn and finding deals gets harder and harder, which is going on right now because the interest rates are so high. The owners are not getting realistic with the change in pricing that has to happen. The cap rates are starting to increase, and deals. I think I saw that in some particular markets, deal transaction flow is down by 72%. I totally get it. And I can tell you, folks, I have never been busier than I am right now. And I'm having an absolute blast. And it all has to do with the hotel to apartment conversion business. We opened up our first cohort months ago. And these deals, when you taking it from a hotel to an apartment, it's taking it from a 16 cap down to an 8 cap. And that's where you make your money in this business. And you'll never see that type of change in cap rates on the multifamily side. Multifamily to multifamily, only see it when you change asset classes. So that's why you got to pivot. If you're looking to do this business, you got to pivot. You got to open your eyes, figure out what needs to be done. Keep looking for multifamily, because that's one thing that people say, well, now you're focusing on hotels. No, look at the name that I'm saying. It's hotels to apartments. Apartments is always the end game. That is always where we all want to be. That's where the most wealth is made in this business, is from owning apartments. But how do you get into those apartments when the transaction flow is as low as it is, when the interest rates are so ridiculous, where the existing owners are better off just sitting and waiting and nothing happens? I don't have time to sit and wait. So that's why we're doing it. Check I think you all know hotel2apartments.com. I think that's what it is. And then you can just check on that and sign on up. We got a wait list. We'll be in touch with you. It's exciting. It's fun. I go rushing into work every day. Like and subscribe. Smash the like it button and smash the subscribe button. And let's get more people on this channel. If you want to be in this business, get involved in one of my cohorts, and you'll have a lot of fun. All right, everyone. Thanks so much. It's great to see you, and I will chat with you all later.